bright and early Tuesday morning, 10:45. We're gonna go fly a plane. Well, here's the plane that I will be flying today. This blue and white one over here. I'm gonna take it up in the sky. Enjoy my day up there. You know, just normal pilot stuff.
So to start with, we have a checklist here. Checklists are something that are going to be happening every time we fly. So this is called the pre-flight checks. So it gives us a few things that we want to do even before we start our walk around. So it says control locks, take them off. And so if you look over here, this thing right here on the control column,
yep,
is the control lock, and that keeps your elevator and ailerons from flopping around in dusty conditions. It goes in the back of the seat.
In the back.
Then we have what's called the magnetos, which is the ignition switch.
Okay.
Set to off, and it is confirmed off.
Okay.
Master switch is the one beside it. It's this red switch.
Yep.
It says to switch it on.
Okay.
Then at this point we check the fuel quantity, and it's telling us right now that we have relatively low fuel, so we might have to order some.
Okay.
It says check quantity, probably about right now an 1/8 of a tank.
1/8 of a tank. Okay.
Pretty low. You don't want to go flying with less than half.
Okay.
Okay. Also says next beacon.
Beacon.
Which is right here. It's turned on the dashboard. On these little switches right here, they're white.
Okay.
Beacon on, and if you look at the top of the tail, can you tell me if you see it flashing?
Yes, I do.
Okay, so the beacon is on and it's working. Next, it says flaps, extended stages, and watch your head, they're right here.
Okay.
So you go down in increments of 10, you'll hear it go down, and then stop. There's 10, there's 20. Master switch off, and the master switch supplies power to all your electrical systems.
Okay.
So now if I try to put the flaps down,
Won't work.
now you come in here, and it says trim, check travel. So
it's moving freely.
moving freely, and then there's something on the back there that's called the trim tab on your elevator.
Okay.
It's dipped right down. That's the nose up position.
Okay.
And then you go all the way to the nose down position, which is up in here.
Okay.
And make sure you get full deflection up. And there we go, fully deflected up.
Yep.
And then you put it back to takeoff.
And that's just on one wing?
It's only on the one elevator.
One elevator. Okay.
And there it is right there. That little black tick on this plane represents the takeoff position.
Okay.
Okay, that's like basically
Keep it
neutral.
there. Okay.
Okay. So then, after you check your trim, then we make sure that loose objects are secured. So just for this flight, this is okay.
Pretty clean in here.
It's quite clean.
Yeah, it's nice.
The other place that we check loose objects be secure is in here. So there's usually there's a net right here, which there is not at ironically right now. But loose objects would go under the net that's right here.
Okay.
Okay. This is baggage area 1.
Okay.
And this here, if you have a look up in there, is baggage area 2.
Okay, up in there.
Okay. We also have to check the fire extinguisher.
Okay.
That it's both on board and charged. So on board, right between the seats.
Okay.
And it is in the green.
It's in the green.
First aid kit is on the co-pilot seat, right here.
Okay.
And it is there?
Yep.
All right. And is there a little tab on it as well? Which there's vomit bags as well. I'll give you a little.
Looks like
little
it's
look.
been opened.
It does look like it has been opened, but it is there.
Okay, perfect.
Usually there's a little guard. Okay. So now at that point, it says walk around.
Walk around.
Okay. So for a walk around, what we're gonna need is this cup.
Okay.
And also this stick.
Okay.
Okay. All right, so we move the chocks out of the way just for the moment. So you come out the door from your seat.
Okay.
The first thing you see is the door. So
Okay.
we do start at the door. Check around there, make sure the pins are in place. The door is in good shape, it shuts, it opens as well, no trouble. And also, you've got your window.
Okay.
And it's closed.
Okay.
So that's in good shape. Come down here, this is the wheel strut. Basically just to check to make sure that this piece here is in place. No screws dangling across here. Very important right here. This is your brake mechanism.
Okay.
You just look to make sure that there's no hydraulic oil, which would be red,
Okay.
on the ground. All the components appear to be in place, nothing's flopping around. As you move this way, you've got your tire, and this amount of wear is reasonable.
Okay.
When you first put the tire on, you're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 treads.
Okay.
All right, on a new tire. This one you're down to 1, 2, 3, and
Okay.
it's starting to wear here. You can't really see that tread just ever so slightly right here.
Yep.
1, 2, 3, 4, yeah. So then what we do, we check the condition of the tread. You don't want to see any of the steel belts wearing through.
Okay.
So there's belting, and then go from that side all the way to the front, and just make sure that you don't see anything suspicious, no nails. And then I also give it a push, so just watch your head. And if I can move this, the emergency brake might be on. Which it is. I'll show you where it is if you want to come here. Good little lesson as well. You want to make sure that your emergency brake is off, so you just pull it out and push it in.
Okay, there it goes.
Just like that, to turn it on,
And then lock it.
just like that.
Okay.
Okay? But you will not move the plane if the emergency brake
No.
is. So that'll make rolling it a little bit easier. So I'll just give it a little shove this way. And then that way you can see what you're...
Check the rest of it.
You've got it, what you're missing there. And a few little scratches are okay, but it's the belts. If you see belts, that's the problem.
Okay.
Also, the valve stem
Yep.
is tight and across from this red dot.
Yep.
So that's good. There's a pin right here as well.
Oh, okay.
Okay, that pin is very important. You want it to be there. And the pressure appears to be good. It's not looking flat.
Right.
There's no way to really check it otherwise, but
Yeah.
if it is like getting low on air, it'll kind of loaf over.
Okay.
Okay, so that's done. So now you check the fuselage wall and the glass. So looking good here. Everything's cool. Good shape. Glass is in place. Looking for dents and popped rivets, anything that looks suspicious along here, but looks good along there. That this thing here is in place as well.
Okay.
So as we come across, just checking along here, your tail section, screws are all in place, antennas are in place. This is your elevator surface. No bumps or they call it hanger rash. That's what happens if it gets hit somewhere.
Okay.
So, and also the leading edge of the elevator, good shape. And underneath, have a look as well. Good shape. Then we come along here. Look right here on both sides of your elevator. There's a weight right in there.
Oh, okay. Make sure it's there.
That's correct.
When you're going on a flight, let's say you're going to go on a solo flight.
Yeah.
From being inside to up in the air, how long would it take you after some time?
After we kind of get into a routine, it'll probably take about 15 minutes.
15 minutes, you can do it all.
Yeah.
And be up there.
And be up.
Okay.
15 to 20 by the time you get everything done. But
Okay.
documents checked, walk around done,
Okay.
and then you run up as well.
Okay.
And then you're also looking for, there's nuts and bolts.
Okay, make sure they're connected.
That's correct. And then sometimes there's like a crown nut.
Okay.
And these ones are nuts and bolts, and they're there. And I'll show you what a crown one looks like. Let's see. See that one in there? See how it's got, there's a little pin on that nut.
I see it.
So you want to check anytime that there's one of those crown nuts that it's got a pin.
Okay.
Okay. It's not consistent. Like,
Okay.
You might next time find that where you found a nut and a bolt here.
Okay.
There could be a crown one, but just make
But
sure.
if you see one, make sure there's a pin.
So here, checking here, you've got some tension on your elevator wire.
Okay.
This one's for your rudder, and there's a pin and a pin. they're in place.
Okay.
And also deflection. There's a little bumper right here, down to there, and it hits it. And there's a bumper up top, and it also hits it. Very good. Then coming up to your tail section, there's a nut and a bolt there.
Okay.
Nut and a bolt. Nut and a bolt. And also, right up there,
Yeah.
there's a weight.
Okay.
All right. And your
And-
beacon's there. Nav light.
It's okay if some of the screws look like they're a little bit out. Like,
That one, that could be one to watch, actually. Yep, that's fair to say. That's a good eye.
okay.
All right. Noted. Very good. Good eye, brother. And then you check this, kind of just the condition, because you check the screws.
Okay.
These all look good. Tail section is looking nice. And then when you lift up on the elevator, both sides go up as they
Okay.
should. Now you come down on this side.
Yep.
You got a pin here,
Yes.
pin here, pin here. Check the tension. It's there.
Okay.
Very important one. This is your it's a tie down ring, but what happens is sometimes as people land, their nose is really high and it can strike the tail. So you can get what's
Oh.
called a tail strike.
Okay.
All right. And this here will get ground down or
Okay.
bent.
Oh, I see.
Right now, see how that's kind of like a circle?
Yes.
Sometimes it can become kind of like an oval
Okay.
or just wrecked altogether.
Okay.
And looking down from here at the back of the plane
Yep.
up to the front, there's no crumpling noticed.
Right.
So that means that there has not been a tail strike.
Okay.
So you want to check that out, because if that's compromised, that could be trouble.
Okay.
Okay. This, when you deflected the trim
Yep.
on your pre-flight, this is what pushes the trim tab, this little arm,
Okay.
and there's a pin in that guy as well. Perfect. The underside of it looks good.
Yep.
Upper side, there's some wear, but that's not the end of the world.
Right.
Paint is superficial. Pin, crown
Yes.
nut. This one has a nut and a bolt,
Yes.
and then this one has a nut and a bolt
Yep.
and a weight.
Got the weight.
So that's good. Upper surface here looks good. Leading edge, nothing to write home about. Again, there's a cover plate here with some screws. The screws are all on, and the underside of that looks good as well.
Okay.
All right. And checking for screws, and cover plate is on. Coming along the fuselage, ELT antenna, emergency locator transmitter
Oh, wow.
antenna. So it's located
It's in there.
right there
Okay. It says it.
on the other side of the wall. Well, in here I just have a quick little glance at the rudders, excuse me, the flaps.
Yep.
Communications antennas, so those are for your radios, they're in place. And then you keep on coming along the fuselage. Glass is good, window is shut. The door, check for the pins once again. And once again, checking your wheel strut. Screws are all in place.
Okay. This tire's nicer, right?
That one's in better shape. You've
Yeah.
got it. You see the difference? No oil.
No oil. Brake
And
pads
then-
look good.
Yep, the brake pads as well. And then doing a check. So there's 4 ridges.
Okay.
And what else do we check here?
And then the stem is with the red, and then we make sure this pin is on. There's no oil or anything, and then the tire's not flat,
Excellent. Pressure's good.
and the window's open.
The window is open, and we can lock that.
Yeah, we can lock the latch. Okay.
So then, when I stand up,
Yep.
I take out my cup,
Okay.
and then I check the fuel.
Oh, that's the fuel. So you're making sure it's clean.
You've got it. And this, there's not very much fuel in here, so we're going to need to ask for some. Or there potentially isn't. We'll see. They're still up in the wings. But so what you're looking for here, the cup isn't that clean, but you're looking for color,
Okay.
contaminants, and water.
And water.
So we've got 100 low lead aviation gas, and
Okay.
it is blue.
Okay.
Okay. So it is blue, in fact. If it was jet fuel, like you see in that truck over there fueling up that plane,
Okay.
it would be a straw yellowy color.
Okay.
So you can see how fuel could be put in the wrong one
Yes.
by mistake.
So that's why we check it.
That's exactly right. There's 2 different fuel trucks. That's got jet fuel, and the other truck has. I have not.
You want to?
One day,
Yeah.
I'd love to. Absolutely. And as far as little floaty things, I don't see any rust or anything floating around in the fuel.
Okay.
And water would settle down in the ridge of the cup.
Okay.
And I don't see any, but it would be just an off-white milky color.
Okay.
All right. And if you see water,
yeah,
then you run it again.
Okay.
Until well, you dump it out into that little gas
that's
can
what that's for.
first,
Okay. Yeah.
And then run it again until all the water's out.
Okay.
Because that'll affect your engine adversely, as you can imagine.
Yes.
All right. Then from here, then you check your flaps. A little bit of play. There's rollers here and a nut and a bolt.
Okay.
On each of those spots, and there's another little roller right in there. Just check that it is in the track.
Okay.
And it is. Cover plates, good. This is what pushes your flaps, raises and lowers them.
Okay.
A little bit of play. And once again, roller,
Yep.
nut and bolt, and it's on the track.
Perfect.
In here,
Yeah.
what you'll see on this particular model of airplane, there's a little pin on this side, on the left, on the right, and a little pin on the left as well.
Okay.
So there's 2 pins, and then 1, 2, 3, 4 nuts and bolts. Just make sure that the 2 pins, which are really hard to see,
Yeah.
they are there.
They're there. Okay.
I see it, and I see it.
And
see
I
that one bent
Yeah,
out?
I see that one.
That one's a little more obvious. You might
Okay.
have to look sometimes. Sometimes it's kind of like a long bar that goes through the whole length. So
Okay.
if you don't see the little pins, look for that long bar.
Okay.
Okay, check. 1, 2, 3, 4. Pin,
Yep.
pin,
Pin.
1, 2, 3, 4. And a little bit of play. That's what
Okay.
controls your ailerons. You've got 3 weights on under each aileron. 1, 2, 3.
Okay.
And it'll be on the end. That reduces what's called flutter.
Oh, I see.
Okay. And then pin and pin.
And
1, 2, 3, 4. Got it.
Okay.
Now, I'm going to pull this down. When I pull that down, look what happens to the other aileron. When I push it up, that one goes down.
Yep.
When I pull this one down, that one goes up.
Opposite.
They're called differential ailerons.
Okay.
And so that's just to enable to make turning more smooth.
Okay.
All right. And then we come along, check, make sure that the ends of the weights are good. And as we're coming along here, make sure that there's no big dings in the leading edge, particularly of your wing. It's a little bit dirty, but that's not gonna ground us today. Bug guts. Holes here, no hornets or anything like that. Make sure they're closed.
Okay.
Cover plates. Check the screws and things in place here. This is your wing strut. Coming down. And then, do you want to come over to the other side? You'll see the same thing as this right on the other side.
Yep.
So hold your hand on there.
Okay.
Put that down, bud. And you're going to just see what I am checking here. So you put your foot on that little peg and that peg there. So what we're doing here is checking your fuel.
Okay.
So I open this thing by turning it counterclockwise, and then that's what this stick is for.
Oh, okay.
All right. So what we have here, this is divided into go, no go,
No
quarter
go.
tank,
Yeah.
half tanks, 3/4 and full.
Okay.
So you want to make sure, usually I say half tanks minimum,
Okay.
but there is a fuel shortage. And we're right on half tank.
Oh,
And it is sometimes hard to see, but it's right in there.
Yeah.
Okay. So we're
Okay.
good there on
Perfect.
this tank. And then when you close it, make sure that this cap goes from the nose of the airplane right to the tail.
Oh, I see. Straight.
Because if this pops open during flight, there's pressure on this side of the wing, and it'll siphon it out.
Oh, wow. We
And
don't want
then
that. Yeah.
You lose your fuel.
Okay.
Could you just shut the cap just for 1 second? And then while you're up here, you inspect the upper surface of the airfoil. Make sure that there's no rivets or screws missing, nothing popped out. Relatively clean.
Yep.
You've got your communications antennas. This is your automatic direction finder in place. Then coming along, inspect your windscreen. All the screws, etc., are in place. So that looks good. Then you come on down. And what my flight instructor called this is the business end of the plane.
Oh, okay.
So under here, we've got oil
Okay.
and another check for fuel. So you take the oil stick out, and you need a minimum of 5 quarts of oil.
Okay.
And we'll say it on the stick if we're in good shape.
And that's just for this plane or most planes?
For this one in particular, all 172s, minimum 5.
Okay.
Or at least the ones that are here. And we're at about 6, would you say?
Okay, yeah.
So we're in good shape for the oil. And in the summer months, we use W100 plus.
Okay.
That will
Little
change
thinner.
to W80 plus in the
Okay.
winter. And when you tighten it up,
Yep.
just a little bit past snug.
Okay,
Just a
just to
bit.
kind of lock it in.
Just so that it's okay. You can back it off and just feel the pressure, but not too tight. Sometimes
Just like that.
it's like,
Okay.
and then it's hard to get off. Now, if you look down here with your phone,
Yeah.
there's this little pull thing right there. Do you see
Yep,
that
I see
silver
it.
knob?
Yeah.
All right, so what I do
Is that
here,
for fuel?
that's for fuel. So I put my hand on here and I'm gonna bear hug the plane to get another fuel sample.
Okay.
Okay, so it comes down here,
Okay.
and this is your strainer.
Okay.
So I put this hole, that end into that hole, and then I
Okay.
pull that strainer 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we check the same thing that we did a second ago.
Okay.
I don't see water, I see no contaminants, and it is still blue.
Great.
So we're good there.
Looks good.
So there's that one, and then there's another one that we press up and in under the belly. So this one has 2 underneath.
Wow, a lot of fuel.
Some other planes have 5 under the wings,
Wow.
each wing, and 3 here. So this one is also looking good.
They're different tanks, or just
different
spots?
configurations.
Okay.
So, but most of them are like this. There's only one oddball that has 5, 5, and 3.
Okay.
And that's not one that'll start you on. So then, while we're down here, we inspect the nose gear assembly.
Okay.
This is what controls your turning of the tires when you're in the plane. So that bar is in place. This is a dampener,
Okay.
shimmy dampener, and we've got a pin. About 3 fingers today of compression. This is called an oleo.
Okay.
And basically, if it was 2 or less than 2, I would say we've got a problem. But
Okay.
that means that with that much compression, it's doing its job.
Okay.
The gear itself, there's no cracks or anything. There's a pin here, and then we check the tire just like we did before. Pressure's good. Going along, the tread looks good. There's no surprises. Then I'm just going to give it a little push,
Okay.
as I should have done right there. Got talking. There's nothing there
Yeah,
either.
that one looks good.
Right. So that's in good shape. Your exhaust, just look for cracks in it. That could be a problem, but I've seen it before, but that has none.
Yeah.
Then coming along this way, this is your air intake for your carburetor, and it's clear.
Okay.
Lights are in place. These are our cowl plugs.
Oh.
They keep little creatures out and also heat in.
Okay.
And while we're here, check the leading edge of your prop.
Okay.
Dings, and anything that's suspicious. Feel how smooth that is. That's acceptable.
Okay.
I found chips from rocks that can crack it.
Yeah.
It's spinning really fast. Screws are all in place.
Okay.
Also, go right for it. Feels good.
Yep.
Here's your alternator belt right here, and it's connected. Looking in here for birds or anything else, and
Okay.
your spinner dome is connected to the rest of the plane.
Okay.
Happily. It's in good shape. And there is, once again, down here you might see oil, which I don't see any, or birds, and there is none.
Okay.
And could you just
Yes.
close that hatch for me? Here I'm checking for screws, making sure that they're all in place. And right down again, oleo's in good shape. This little rudder pedal control is there. You can see that little red dot
Yep.
and a pin. So we're good there. Now, this one here is very important. It's called your static port.
Okay.
That tells us how high we are ultimately on our
okay.
altimeter, our vertical speed indicator, and also it compares the static pressure of the atmosphere to the dynamic pressure that we'll measure from the pitot tube to tell us how fast we're going.
Oh, wow.
Okay, so here's your static port, and for your airspeed indicator, it compares with your pitot tube. So I'm just going to take these off while we're here.
Those come
I need my hands back. All right. Good there. And so from your static port, we have a foot peg, and I'll
Okay.
take this, and then guess what we do? Up
Check
we
this
go.
side.
Check the fuel once again. And then just to make sure that we actually do have fuel, it's saying just shy of a half tank, which is sufficient for our purposes today. And then while I'm up here, all the holes.
Yep.
Holes, no wasps. Cover plates in place. Pitot tube, make sure there's no flies inside of that little hole right there.
Okay.
And when you, in the winter time, if there is icing, if water builds up on this and turns to ice, this will heat up. There's something that's called pitot tube heat.
Okay.
And there's a little hole on the back of this.
Okay.
You want to make sure that is also not blocked.
Okay.
To let the water come out if you ever need to use pitot tube heat. And it's right there, and it's clear.
Is it a portable heater, or does this thing heat?
It's right in the plane, right where I flicked on.
It's a switch that heats it up?
You've got
Okay.
it. You've got it. And usually it doesn't happen, but you never know.
Okay.
We're not supposed to fly into icing. That's your stall horn.
Okay.
Make sure that it's not blocked. It looks good. All the screws in place, and your wing strut as we go past here. Just check it. And this here is your fuel vent, and just make sure that's not blocked too.
Okay.
And then we come across here. Make sure that the leading edge, once again, this is familiar to the last one. A couple little marks like that.
Yeah.
That's not going to ground us. Here. And then we know that it bends both ways. Now we look for the weights. 1, 2, 3.
Okay.
And our pins. 1 pin, 2 pin, and 1, 2, 3, 4 nut and bolt. 1, 2 pins. 1, 2, 3, 4. And a little bit of play. Cover plates, cover plates. 1 pin, 2 pin, 1, 2, 3, 4. Check.
Okay.
The underside of the aileron looks good. As we come to the flap, nut and bolt with roller. A little bit of play, looks okay. Nut and bolt, roller. Underside looks fine. And then the last thing we do, take a little bit more fuel.
Okay.
Check for
the water and color and contaminants.
Perfect. And that's looking great. So from there, that's why we bring this
Okay.
guy. So then we just dump it into there. What I try to do to keep as much yuck out of this as possible, take the cap off, swirl it around, and then dump it on in. Some people ask if we can put it back in the airplane. We say generally no.
Okay.
If there's a tug that pulls the planes out back,
Yeah. Use it for that?
they use it for that. All right. So the last thing I do, come on over here, and I know right now you don't know what all you're looking for, but I have a look at the plane and make sure that the communication antennas are in place. Any antenna that I see on the airplane looks the way that it should, and the airplane looks generally the way that I always see it.
Okay.
That kind of condition. And I ask myself, how am I feeling today? Is my head on straight?
Yeah.
Do I feel like it's a good day to go flying? The weather's good. I've checked it.
Yeah.
How's my student?
Yeah. Good.
Your
Great.
student's okay?
Yeah.
Do you feel like going flying?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I feel great.
Then that's our walk around.
Yeah.
That's it, buddy.
That's
So
amazing.
We'll call that a wrap, brother.
Wow.
Okay.
Thanks, eh?
Nope.
Instructor with me today. He's gonna fly, teach me how to fly, intro flight. Excited about it. Becoming a pilot slowly but surely. So we got all the controls over here. Got my headset over here. This is how I communicate with the tower when I'm flying. It's my emergency brake. It's actually off right now. Just now it's locked. The plane can't move. Make sure this is in the right position. And I'm gonna be taking it out in a few minutes. I see it right there. Yeah.